Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, we're out to Arrowhead for the call from Kansas City. We'll hand it over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, as you'd expect for a late-season contest in this part of the country, chilly temps in the forecast here at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. This is the offense we're going to see coming up in this one, and Travis Kelce will be key.
What a tremendous weapon he is, especially in the red zone. Knows how to find the end zone when running his routes.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. 6th touchdown of the season, and they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Powering forward. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And all the way down to the 5. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A big play there, Mahomes to Watkins, 45 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead.
6-18.
From the gun now on third down, Carr. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he's got room. The 20, 10, 5. And oh so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. 56 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Throwing now is Carr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football. Intended receiver.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have this